I'm going to create a shape tween and a motion tween together in the same presentation. So I'll start with a simple shape tween. We'll have a blue square that changes to a red circle and then back again. And then we'll add a motion tween, which will just be maybe a red triangle. Let's go with a yellow triangle that changes size, position, alpha, and then goes back to its original. So I'll start with the shape tween. I'll create a blue square, use my rectangle tool, pick up a blue fill from my properties panel. I'll go with no stroke, doesn't matter if you use a stroke or not. Draw in the top left corner, wherever you like, doesn't matter. Second step is to add a keyframe. I'll add 2 keyframes so that I can have it return to the starting object. So I'll add one at 30, insert timeline keyframe, and at maybe 55, that's the last frame I can see, insert timeline keyframe. So you'll notice that if I select each one of these keyframes, we have a blue square on each one. So if I change the shape on frame 30 at tweens, it'll go from the original shape to the change shape, from the change shape to the original shape. So I'll press delete on my keyboard to remove the square on frame 30, and I'll draw a circle on frame 30. I'll go with a red circle like I mentioned, and if I hold down shift and click and drag, I get a perfect circle. So now I have a blue square on frame 1, a red circle on frame 30, a blue square on frame 55. So if I just add shape tweens between those keyframes, insert shape tween, and between 30 and 55, insert shape tween, we now have a shape tween. Blue square, red circle, back to blue square. I'm going to rename this layer shape. I just double click on the existing layer name and type in a new one, and I'll add a new layer. Insert timeline layer will do that, and I'll rename this layer, layer 2, motion. That'll contain my motion tween. Notice that as soon as I add a layer, when there's already existing layer, that layer is populated with empty frames up until the end of the previous layer. I'm going to lock my shape layer. I'm done editing it. I don't need to do anything on that layer anymore, and I don't want to inadvertently edit any objects on that layer. So on my motion tween, I'll have a yellow triangle, changing size, position, color, color effect. I'll go with opacity, and I'll create a motion guide as well. So the first step is to draw my object. So again, I'll use my shapes tool. If I go polystar, go to options, that'll allow me to choose whether or not it's a polygon or a star. I'll go with polygon with 3 sides. That's an equilateral triangle. Type in 3 on my keyboard, go OK, and I'll pick yellow as a fill color. Nice dark yellow that you can see. And I'll create it up in the top right corner. I can always move it. Click on my selection tool, click once to select the triangle. I'll just move it into the stage. Now I'll convert that to a graphic symbol. Any type of symbol will work. Graphics most correct. Modify, convert to symbol. I'll call it yellow triangle. And I'll go with graphic. Again, any one of these would work. I don't need the additional functionality of the movie clip or the button. I go OK, and now I insert motion tween. So again, the steps are to draw the object, convert it to a symbol, insert motion tween, and then change the properties of the object on the frames that you want to change it. So I'll just change them on 15, 30, 40 something, and 55. Insert motion tween. Now I have a span. Again, populates the area that the frame's populated. So on 15, I'll have it move over here. I can just click and drag it. Again, I'm still using the selection tool, that's important. 30, again using the selection tool, just move it down here. 45, actually something like halfway between 30 and 55. Move it over here. Notice the path is being created for us. And then 55, I'll move it back to starting position. And I'll have it start transparent and become opaque. So on frame 1, click once with the selection tool. Again, I'm still using the selection tool. Click once. Alpha. I'll make it somewhat transparent. On 15, I'll make it 100%. On 30, I'll make it somewhat transparent again. 45, 100%. And this is just how I feel. None of this has anything to do with anything more than that. And on 55, I'll make it the same opacity as it was on frame 1. So back here on frame 1, it is 42. So 52, 55. I'll type in 42. So we have no hops. Press enter. Press enter on my keyboard to preview the animation. I'll just play. There we go. So again, shape tween, motion tween, 2 separate layers. They must be on 2 separate layers. And that's basically it. Thank you.